Welcome, this is Mrs. Matasovic, and today's lesson is rate experiments on a double-sided number line. Please go to page 20 in your IMP Blue workbook, book 1. Today's objective is that students will use double-sided number line to generate equivalent ratios and answer questions from rate situations demonstrated in the classroom. Today is the first time we are talking about rates. Rate is just like a ratio, except rates have units. The most common rate is speed. Speed is expressed in usually miles per hour or feet per second or laps, number of laps per minute or number of words per minute in typing. So rates have units, and that's the only difference between rates and ratios. In this experiment, I would, in the classroom, ask you to walk for 4 seconds and record the distance you would walk in 4 seconds. However, I don't have kids here right now, so I'm just gonna write down, use a student. I'm gonna say Maria. So my name for students is gonna be Maria. And then let's say that Maria walked 6 steps in 4 seconds. I'm not going to be measuring on the floor how many feet she traveled. I'm just going to say that she walked 6 steps in 4 seconds. The question says, fill in the above information on the double-sided number line below. So we're going to take this information and put it on the double-sided number line below. And then we're going to use it to answer the question your teacher will ask. When we have a rate, we start from 0 just as ratios. So that's what I'm going to put here, 0 and 0. So that's step 1. After you draw the number line, we're going to start with 0 and 0. And this number line has 2 parts. It has the top part and the bottom part. And the numbers on the top and numbers on the bottom are not going to be the same. The numbers on the top are going to represent number of steps, and the numbers at the bottom are going to represent time, seconds. In rates, when I have a speed, which is some distance in time, time is always at the bottom. So I'm going to place steps on the top and seconds on the bottom. So every time I do anything with steps, it's going to go to the top, seconds are going to go to the bottom. If at any time I'm going too fast, you fall behind in taking your notes, please pause the video and make sure you take all the notes. Now, Maria walks 6 steps, so I'm going to go 0 plus 6. So in each movement, I'm going to have to add 6 steps, and the time is 4 seconds. And this is my given ratio, 6 steps in 4 seconds. Now, 6 plus 0 is 6, so the top is going to be 6, and 0 plus 4 is 4. And this is my given ratio. My given ratio is 6 to 4, which is what we wrote up there. So 6 to 4 is the given ratio. And I'm just going to complete the few more lines. So I'm going to keep going plus 6 plus 4. Every time I add 6, I have to 6 steps, I have to add 4 seconds. This is 12, this is 8. I suggest that you pause the video and complete the double-sided number line by yourself, and then continue with the video to make sure you did the answer, you did it correctly. And the last one, I have to add 6 more steps in 4 seconds, which is going to give me 30 steps in 20 seconds. So this is completed double-sided number line. And now I'm going to post a question that we're going to have to answer. So the question is going to be, how far will Maria travel in 12 seconds? Okay, so this is the question, how far will Maria travel in 12 seconds? So if I look at the double-sided number line, I'm going to see that 12 seconds is approximately in the middle. So it's 12 seconds is right here. And when I find 12 seconds, this is the number I'm looking for. I'm going to look up and see that Maria is going to do 18 steps in 12 seconds. So this is my calculation using double-sided number line. The way we came up with this was by adding 4 seconds in each step until we reach the goal time of 12 seconds. Each time we added 4 seconds, I had to add 6 steps because 4 seconds Maria walked 6 steps. So this is one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is replacing addition with multiplication. I went 6 plus 6 plus 6. I added 6 3 times. Instead of saying 6 plus 6 plus 6, I can say 6 times 3 is 18. So I can go 6 times 3 is 18. And then if I multiply top by 3, I have to do the same at the bottom. I'm going to multiply bottom by 3. So this is another way. On the double-sided number line, we can use addition, but we can also use multiplication. So my calculations are presented above. And I'm just going to show you how to do this using equivalent ratios. And that's what I'm going to put under my calculations. Rates are done usually using double-sided number line or equivalent ratios. So let's go and use equivalent ratios. So we're going to start with a given rate, which is 6 steps in 4 seconds. So this is my given rate. This is where I start. And then I'm going to multiply my given rate by the giant one. So I'm going to have a giant one here. And that's going to give me my answer. And my answer is how far, which means how many steps. So I have to find how many steps Maria is going to walk in 12 seconds. So the biggest deal here is, what is my giant one? If I ignore what we did here and I just focus on this equation, I have to look 6 times which number will give me the answer. I don't know this answer, so I cannot know this number, but I can figure out 4 seconds times which number is going to give me 12 seconds. So 4 times what is going to give me 12. So we can either use our times table in our head and think 4 times which number is 12 and say, okay, 4 times 3 is 12. Or another way to think is to say 12 divide by 4, it's going to give me which number? So 12 divided by 4 is 3. So that's another way. Because this is a giant one, if I have 3 in the denominator, I'm going to have 3 in the numerator. So it's going to be the same number 3 here. And then 6 times 3, it's 18. And it's giving me the answer of 18 steps in 12 seconds. If I look up here now in the double-sided number line, I can see this giant one, 3 over 3. I can also see it here, 3 over 3. We can use multiplication to find the answer in the double-sided number line also. And we're going to write down the answer sentence. So the question was, how far will Maria travel in 12 seconds? So I'm going to write down my answer sentence is my calculations show that Maria will travel 18 steps in 12 seconds. So make sure you have all the notes taken in your blue workbook, or if you don't have a workbook, in your graph paper notebook. Now we're gonna go down and answer question. Use a double-sided number line and equivalent ratios to answer the questions below. So the question says, Marcos can swim 4 laps in 5 minutes. At this rate, how long will it take to swim 20 laps? First of all, we have to look what is the given ratio, and I want to highlight the given ratio. It says Marcos can swim 4 laps in 5 minutes. So 4 laps in 5 minutes, that is the given ratio, and I'm going to write this down. This is the given ratio. Now, let's look at the second sentence. It says, at this rate, how long will it take to swim 20 laps? When it says how long will it take to swim, this is not how long the pool is. It's basically how much time it's going to take him to swim 20 laps. So that's another thing that's important and we have to highlight. How long will it take to swim 20 laps? So this is what we have to find. Earlier I said that the difference between ratios and rates is that rates have units while ratios don't have units. And I'm going to underline units here. So the units are laps and minutes. Numbers are never units. Units are what we use to express our measurement, but not the number, what goes with the number. So if I'm measuring distance, let's say from here to school, I'm going to measure it in miles. The number can be like 2 miles. So I measured 2, but the units are miles. So the units will describe what that number that we use. So if I say 2 miles, say, okay, it's 2 miles. So we know the units. So I'm going to write down these are units. So in this case, the units are laps and minutes. We have to use a double-sided number line, and I'm going to draw a double-sided number line, and you guys pause the video and draw yourself a double-sided number line. So here's my double-sided number line, and I'm going to start with 0, 0. We always start line with 0, 0, and I'm going to put units. Laps are going to go at the top, and minutes are going to go at the bottom because time is always at the bottom. Once we determine where we begin, I'm going to start applying my given ratio. So I'm going to be adding 4 laps every 5 minutes. So 0 plus 4 is 4 and 0 plus 5 is 5. And I'm going to keep doing it until I reach the target number of 20 laps. So you can pause the video and keep adding 4 laps until we reach 20. Okay, wow, that was just right. So this is my target number of 20 laps. Now, each time I added 4 laps, it took Marcos 5 minutes to swim them. So I'm going to be adding 5 minutes for every 4 seconds. So 5 plus 5 is 10. And we're going to keep doing it until we come to 20 laps. Perfect. So now I figured out that for Marcos to swim 20 laps, it's gonna take him 25 seconds. So here is my answer. And another way to do this is to look at multiplication. We're gonna look how many times did I add 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I added 4 5 times. I can mark that 4 times 5 is 20. And then if I multiply number of laps by 5, I'm gonna have also, it's gonna take 5 times longer for Marcos to swim. So my giant one would be 5 over 5 in this case. So this is using number line, and we also have to use equivalent ratios. So the equivalent ratios is gonna have equation, just like a question above. And we're going to start with the given rate. So given rate is 4 laps in 5 minutes. So this is given. And then I'm going to multiply the given rate by giant 1. And I'm going to go to my target rate. And my target rate is 20 laps. But I have to figure out in how much time. So this is, we have to find. So this is a part that we have to find. The way we do this, I can use times table. 4 times which number is going to give us 20, or I can say 20 divided by 4 is going to give me which number. In both cases, the answer is 5. So the answer is going to be 5. 5 times 4 is 20. And then if I multiply 4 laps by 5, I also have to multiply my time by 5. And it's going to be 5 minutes times 5 is going to give me 25. Oh, sorry, I just saw a mistake here. It's not 25 time, it is 25 minutes. Just have to delete time and write down minutes. So we solved the problem using double-sided number line and using equivalent ratios or rates. And my answer is going to be that it will take Marcos 25 minutes to swim 20 laps. There isn't much time to write the answer, but I'm going to write it down below. I'm going to squeeze the answer down at the bottom. So I'm going to start my answer sentence by my calculations show that it will take Marcos 25 minutes to swim 20 laps. And this is the end of page 20. If you have not taken all the notes, please stop the video and take all the notes. And this is it. Thank you for watching.